Angelo here. Welcome to my channel and welcome back viewers to my stream. So guys, like I said, 3 days. All 3 of these, part 1, part 2, part 3. Today is 10/7/2021 and let's get right into it, guys. They just uploaded this about 30 minutes ago. Let's see here. It's the Path of Exile 3.16 Balance Part 3, Auras, Curses, and Elemental Damage over time. Let's see if Aura bots got shit on. Here we go. So, in our upcoming 3.16 expansion, we're making a number of balance changes. Over the last 2 days, we talked about our plans for flask and ailment mitigation and core character defenses and recovery. We strongly recommend reading those posts prior to this one. Today's post covers our plans for auras, curses, and elemental damage over time. We've assembled this article as a set of identified problems and our intended solutions. Below each solution is a spoiler tag with the specifics, although that's why I do it this way so I don't have to worry about the spoiler tags, of what we're currently intending to change. Please note that as we are still a couple weeks away from release, anything here is subject to change and based on our further testing and your feedback. Support characters, auras, and other reservation effects. Problem: the reduced reservation stat provides very little benefit at low values, but becomes very powerful when heavily invested in. This allows players to run every aura in the game. It also forces reduced reservation to be balanced around extreme levels of investment, limiting how useful it can be to characters that do not run enormous numbers of reservation skills. Finally, characters that heavily invest in reduced reservation in order to run more skills on mana were also able to reserve life extremely efficiently as well with no further investment, rendering this the only sensible way to play most heavily reservation-focused builds. Solution. Oh man, look at those specifics. Solution: replace reduced reservation with reservation efficiency. When stacked, reservation efficiency does not allow for infinite auras. This is given out much more liberal as a result, letting characters run additional reservation effects with only a couple sources of reservation efficiency. The average character benefits, but the top end of extreme reservation has been made significantly weaker. Specifics. Modifiers to reservation have been replaced with reservation efficiency. Reservation efficiency works by dividing the cost of reservation effect. 100% increased reservation efficiency would have the cost of all auras. 50% reservation efficiency cuts down costs enough to let you reserve an additional 50% aura. Oh, well, that kind of sucks. Let's see here. Passives and item modifiers with reduced reservation have been replaced with increased mana reservation efficiency, generally at double the value of the previous reduced reservation value, but sometimes with different values for balance reasons. This means that a small amount of reservation investment is more impactful than before, while high investment doesn't allow as many auras to be used. The vast majority of reservation efficiency offered is now mana-specific in order to prevent reserving both life and mana being the default choice for a build heavily invested in reservation. Generic reservation efficiency and low reservation efficiency are still available on some item modifiers. If not mentioned below, all sources of previously provided reduced reservation, including for specific skills and types of skills, now provide increased mana reservation efficiency at twice the value of the reduced reservation they used to give. Modifiers on existing items are affected by these changes. Notable passive granted by the clusters that previously granted reduced reservation of a specific aura now grants 60% increased mana reservation efficiency of that skill for auras that have 50% base reservation, and 100% increased mana reservation efficiency of that skill for auras that have 35%. Okay. The Hierophant's Sanctuary of Thought notable passive skill now provides 25% increased mana reservation efficiency instead of the 10% less mana reservation. Helmet enchantment that previously granted reduced reservation of a specific skill now grant the following values of increased mana reservation efficiency for that skill. Existing items will instead have twice the previous reduced reservation value, generally lower than the new values. Enchantments for skills that have 50% base reservation now grant 20 to 30% increased mana reservation efficiency for Merciless and Eternal Labyrinth versions, respectively. Enchantments for skills that have 35% base reservation now grant 30 to 45% increased mana reservation efficiency. Enchantment for skills that have 25 or flat base reservation now grant 50 to 75% increased mana reservation efficiency. The corrupted implicit modifier in Joules that previously provided 1% reduced reservation now provide 2% increased reservation efficiency, not specific to mana. Okay, so you can do your life ones as well. All right, cool. Skyforth now grants 12% increased reservation efficiency, not specific to mana, instead of the 6% reduced reservation. What the hell is Skyforth? Okay, that's all right. Yeah, sure. Hyre's Truth now grants Precision has 100% increased mana reservation efficiency. Instead of Precision has 50% less reservation. This change applies to existing items. Replicas Hyre's Truth now grants Hatred now has 100% increased mana reservation efficiency instead of the 50%. So, okay, yeah. Essence Worm now grants 80% reduced. Okay, yeah, reduced reservation efficiency, not specific to mana, instead of the 40% increase. So it's basically the same thing. Instead of reduced or reservation, it's now they're saying increase. Yeah, okay, it's so basically it's gonna be confusing some people. It's slightly confusing me, but I'm getting it. I understand what they're going for. So. Memory Vault now grants 20% reduced reservation efficiency, not specific to mana, instead of the 10%. Gotcha. Damn, this thing is just, whoa, fuck me. All right. Whoa, it just keeps on going. All right. Unique items that previously granted specific skills 100% reduced reservation now cause that skill to have no reservation. Cool. This change applies to existing items. Items that previously caused socketed gems to have reduced reservation have been balanced separately to other reservation efficiency effects. They still provide generic reservation efficiency rather than the mana, but generally they have values lower than double the amount of reservation reduction they used to provide. Existing items will be updated to the functionality and values stated below, but will still display the old values unless updated with a Divine Orb. Huh, interesting. Okay. Shaper and Hunter influence shield modifiers that previously granted 10-15% reduced of socketed gems now grants 15 to 20 increase reservation. Like I said, so going from reduced to increase. I get it. I get it. So they're trying to get away from reducing and increasing. So before, that was actually a more confusing thing. So now they're trying to balance it out, which is making it more confusing, but it's okay. Synthesize implicit modifier that previously granted 10% reduced reservation on socketed gems now grants 20% increased reservation efficiency of socketed gems. Prism Guardian now grants socketed gems have 30% increased reservation efficiency. Instead of the socketed gems have 25% reduced reservation. Victoria's Influence now grants socketed gems have 45% increased reservation efficiency instead of 30%. Devouring Diadem now grants socketed gems have 25% increased reservation efficiency instead of the socketed gems have 20%. The Vinsect now grants socketed gems have 20% reservation efficiency over the socketed gems have 10% increased reservation. Oh, so that's the negative one. Got it, got it. Heretic's Veil now grants socketed cursed gems have 20% increased reservation efficiency instead of the socketed cursed gems have 12% reduced reservation. Looks like that's kind of a nerf because it's not quite exactly the one-for-one everyone's talking about. Rotblood Promise now grants socketed cursed gems have 80% reservation efficiency instead of the socketed cursed gems have 50% reduced reservation. Okay, next one. Problem. Whoa. Problem. Characters specialized in maximizing the power of auras provide an absolutely insane amount of damage and defense to party members, making the party with an aura specialized character so much more effective than one without. Solution. Remove sources of aura effect from cluster jewels and move the aura cluster jewel type to small cluster jewels, so it is no longer possible to continuously stack aura effects for your party. Introduce a new cluster jewel notable to increase the effect of your auras on you, for builds that are building auras for their own power. Interesting. I could use something like that. Specific, the aura cluster jewel that can now be found on smaller jewels rather than medium cluster jewels. This makes it more costly and less impactful to stack large numbers of aura cluster jewels. The small passive now grants 6% increased reservation efficiency instead of increased aura effect. Cluster Jewel's notable passive skills have had all aura effect moves removed. The increased aura effect of auras on you from the Purposeful Harbinger Cluster Jewel notable now only applies to your own aura's effect on you. The Master of Command Cluster Jewel noted passive now grants 10% increased effect of non-curse auras from your skills on enemies, previously 15%. A new Cluster Jewel notable has been added that grants 10% increased effect of auras on you. Cool. Cluster Jewel's notable passives that grant reduced reservation to specific auras instead now grant high amounts of reservation to that aura, as well as improving the secondary bonus that notable gave. Cool. Added Cluster Jewel notable passives that grant high amounts of reservation to specific auras, as well as some other small bonus. For example, Zealotry has 60% increased reservation efficiency and 10% increased effect of consecrated ground you create. The Jinx Juju Amulet now grants 5 to 10% increased effect of your curses, previously 10 to 15%, and 5 to 10% increased effect of non-auras from your skills, previously 10 to 15. Alright. Now we get to support characters. Curses. Problem. Characters specializing in maximizing number and power of curses provide far too much damage and defense to the party members, making a party with a curse specialized character so much more effective than one without. I feel we are kind of rinse and repeating stuff here. Solution. Make curse cluster jewels a small cluster jewel, with many notables reworked to benefit specific curses specifically. Greatly improving a regular character wanting to maximize their curse of choice. Makes significant changes to Dodri's skin as it applies many curses at almost no cost. Specifics. The curse jewel that can now be found on small cluster jewels rather than medium cluster jewels. This makes it, more costly than stacking on large number. Okay, got it. To make the jewels more useful for characters using only 1 or 2 curses, we've greatly improved the cluster jewel notable granting benefits to specific curses, as well as added new ones. However, they can no longer be found on cluster jewels other than curse type ones. List of cluster jewels passive notables that have been changed. Evil Eye, Whisper of Death, and Dark Discourse Cluster have been reworked as new curse-themed notable passives. In general, curse effects that apply to all curses no longer exist on Cluster Jewel notable passives. Lord of Drought, Blizzard Caller, Tempt the Storm, Misery Everlasting, and Exploit Weakness all now grant 40% increased curse effect of specific curses. Previously 25, so that's a good one. Forbidden Words no longer grant 5% increased effect of your curses. It now grants 20% increased reservation efficiency of curse aura skills. Previously 4% reduced reservation. Pretty good. Pretty good. Added new Curse Cluster Jewel notable passive that benefits Doom, Marks, and Hexes that previously didn't have their own notables, such as Punishment, Elemental Weakness, Temporal Chains, and Enfeeble. For example, 20% of Hexes to be applied at maximum Doom, and Hexes have 50% increased Doom gain rate. Alright. Dodri's Skin now grants Hexes from the socketed skills can apply 5 additional curses. It previously granted Hexes from socketed gems or socketed skills ignore curse limit. This is so Replica Dodri's Damning has some downside with using it. Now grants 20% less effect of your curses for all skills. Instead of reduced curse effect of socketed skills triggered when summon Dodri's Effigy skill, the summon Dodri's Effigy skill now has a short cast time, previously instant. Its cooldown has been removed, previously 0.5, and now has a mana cost. Existing items will be affected by this curse limit change, though they will not. They will have 20% less curse effect of curses triggered when summon Dodri's Effigy. Some other uniques that have been rebalanced. The Replica Dodri Damning Ring now grants 15 to 25% increased effect of your curses, previously 25 to 35. Okay. Existing version of this item can be updated to new values with a Divine Orb. So, that's a nerf, right? Yeah. Grants 15 and 25 increase. Yeah, that's a big time nerf. It's like you can update it to the new value with the Divine Orb. It's like, no, I don't want to. Wheel of Storm Sail Shield now grants curse skills have 100% increased skill effect duration, previously 25%. Existing version of this item can be updated to the new values with a Divine Orb. Okay, that's something different. Interesting. Yeah, I like that. The Jinx Juju Amulet now grants 5 to 10% increased effect of your curses, previously 10 to 15. Again, looks like a nerf. And 5 to 10% increased effect of non-cursed auras from your skills, previously 10 to 15. Existing versions, yeah, why would you do that? I don't get it, but okay. Legacy, babe! Elemental damage over time. The problem. Elemental damage over time effects, cold damage over time, burning, and ignite, are too dependent on elemental overload and elemental equilibrium. Ignites are too dependent on the ignite damage multipliers on skill, making skills without ignite multipliers too weak to use with ignite. Solution. Greatly improve the base strength of ignite, burning, and cold damage over time, while making Elemental Overload, Elemental Equilibrium less powerful or require more investment with damage over time skills. Rebalance skills that could apply Ignite effects around the new base damage of Ignite and remove the Ignite damage multipliers. Specifics. Player Ignite now inherently deals 150% more damage than before. Previously 50% of base damage over time for 4 seconds. Now 125% of base damage over 4 seconds. Cold damage over skills deal more time. Creeping Frost now deals 18.4 at level 1, previously 16.7, up to 2,225.6 at gem level 20. Previously, damn, that is a very big one. Its hit damage remains unchanged. Okay, Wintertide brand. All right, so it looks like, yeah, all these are going to be, okay, that's a slight increase. Yeah, but then at the max level, it's 261 out of 164. Cold Snap is 34 to 52, from 32 to 47, up to 1,000 to 1,586. Yeah, okay, yeah. On the high end, so low end, it's about the same, a little bit better. But then on the high end, damn, those are some nice numbers. Those are some really nice numbers. Yeah, it got like a 33% increase. I think they love that number. 33%, they love that. They'll never go 50%, they'll never go 100%, unless it's like super fucked up. But like 33% is like their favorite fucking number of like increasing. Veil Cold or Vol Cold Snap, Vortex, all the same things. Yeah, some things go up. Ooh, Siphoning Trap. I love that one. Siphoning Trap now deals 16.9 base cold damage per second at gem level 1. Previously 15.5. Cool. Up to 760. Damn. Okay, that's... I think my guy's still using that. I could be wrong. Interesting. I like that one, though. Burning Skills now deal more damage. Searing Bonds, yep. Yep, that's a plus. And then 38.99 compared to 24.59. Great. Scorching Rays, 12.8, 11.7, 696 to 439. Righteous Fire is at 39 compared to 35 to 24.47 to 154. It also deals 35% of life and energy shield as base full. Oh, wow. That's good. Okay, base fired. Previously 20%. Righteous Veil Fire, the same thing. Okay, yeah, I like it. Okay. Fire Trap now deals... I mean, that's good to start, but yeah, it's not that great later on. Flame Wall now deals 2.2 base fire damage per second. At level 1, unchanged. Up to 679 at level 20. Okay, yeah, that's good. Its secondary debuff now deals 7.2 base fire damage per second at gem level 1, unchanged, to 2,266, which used to be, yeah, again, like, it's around about 33% increase on everything. Give or take, give or take. Infernal Legion support means, fire damage, yeah, okay, yeah, and at the higher end, yeah, it's great. Many skills that had the Ignite multiplier have had that multiplier removed. The skill has been balanced to compensate for this. If necessary, certain skills have been rebalanced due to a change in base Ignite damage. Taking into account whether to take full advantage of Elemental Overload now, note that examples below do not include the effect of Elemental Overload or Elemental Equilibrium, hence why the Ignite value is so much higher for many of the skills. Fireball no longer has a 50 to 88% more damage with Ignite, and now it's a 25% chance to Ignite at all gem levels, previously 25 to 39. Because of the base Ignite damage changes, Ignite with a skill is now 33... what I tell you, is now 33% higher. I'm telling you, 33%. I'm just looking at that. My math isn't that great, but I was looking at it, I'm like, that's not a 50% buff, and it's definitely not a 100% buff. That is a 33% buff. So, yeah. And then, like, yeah, some of these things, Discharge with ailments, because Ignite damage is higher, 60% higher. Not bad. Veil Fall Fireball. Flame Blast, yeah, damn, 81.8% higher? Jesus Christ, wow, okay. Flame Blast, 75, shit, alright. Because that, yeah. Incinerate, alright. Anomalous Firestorm, yeah, a lot of these, I never fuck with any of these things. Fireburst deals more, yeah, basically, Fireburst, 67.5% higher, Hex Blast, yeah, it's 96%, 95.6% higher at 30 Doom and 83.3% higher at 40 Doom. Like, Doom Blast, Divine Ire, like, all these things are getting above. Oh, this is the thing I was tempted on trying. Explosive Concoction no longer deals a 30 to 49% more damage with Ignite if charges were consumed from a Ruby Flask. It now has plus 40 to 78% to damage over time with Ignite if charges were consumed from a Ruby Flask. Because of the basic Ignite damage changes. Ignite with a skill is now 155% higher and plus 50 to fire damage over time. Interesting. Yeah, I was tempted, but I think, is that when you can't have a weapon? I don't remember, but yeah. Either which way. Yeah, Armageddon brand. Yeah, Shattering Steel. Yeah, so basically all these things are just Explosive Arrow. Deals 5% more damage with hits per explosive arrow on target. Previously hits and ailments. Because the Ignite damage is 66.7 with 10 arrows on target. Ignite with the skill is now 25% higher with 20 arrows. Interesting. Sentinel of Purity summoned with Herald of Purity now have 40% less life. Why? Those are my homies. Because of the basic Ignite damage change, Ignite with a skill is now 50% higher when using the Death Wish skill from the Maw of Mischief unique helmet. Nani? Okay. Frost Bomb! No, they're touching Frost Bomb. Now deals 8 to 13 cold damage at gem level 1. Oh, that's a nerf. Previously 14 and 21. Up to 930 to 1395 at gem level 2. 20. Yeah, that's a nerf. Why are you nerfing this? It no longer has 25% reduced energy shield recharge rate. It now has 4% more damage with hits per 0.1 second duration. What? Because of base Ignite damage changes, Ignite with the skill is now 74.1% higher. Huh? What? It's a Frost Bomb. Why would you take that away? Damn, so they're that was my fucking thing I used to do to fight against guys that had like the never-ending fucking regen on energy shield and shit. It was mainly on Expedition. That's where I learned about that. That was a homie in fucking chat told me about that. So, but now that's not gonna work anymore. Unfortunate. Elemental Overload Keystone passive now gives more hit and ailment elemental damage to skills if they crit in the last 8 seconds. This means you can't use a second rapidly hitting skill, making a small amount of critical chance investment much more important to the skills taking advantage of Elemental Overload. Interesting. Okay, interesting. The Elemental Equilibrium Keystone passive now applies a 25% exposure to the elements not hit with, removing exposure of the elements you hit with. It's now an easy way to apply a strong exposure effect rather than having a huge damage boost that we balance elemental damage over time skills around. Some other skills have been reviewed because of these changes. We will be looking at pure elemental minions to determine what changes are needed here. Moved Elemental Equilibrium Keystone passive to the Ranger section of the passive skill tree, where there is much less existing access to exposure for elemental builds and access to skills that rotate elements, such as Wild Strike. And still a couple more specifics. More scaling options have been added to damage over time builds on passive skill tree and items, raising the top end of damage over time for well-geared characters. There are now 5 tiers of global damage over time suffix modifiers to roll on weapons, going from 26 on one-handed weapons and 45 on two-handed weapons. There are 5 tiers now on global damage over time suffix modifiers that roll on all amulets as part of their base modifier pool, going up to 26%. The influencer modifier on rings that had a chance to ignite freeze shock, as well as some flat damage, have been changed. They no longer provide a chance to apply the ailment, but provide a lot more added damage instead. The fire version rolls up to 23 to 30 to 47 to 54 damage against ignited enemies. The cold rolls up 20 to 26 to 41 to 48 cold damage against chilled or frozen enemies. And the lightning version rolls a 4 to 8 to 82 to 86 lightning against shocked enemies. Okay. Essence of Delirium no longer rolls hexes you inflict have +5 maximum doom on rings or plus 10% to damage multiplier over time. Multiplier on amulets. Instead, it now rolls plus 12 to 15% damage over time multipliers on rings, and hexes you have inflict plus 10 to maximum doom on amulets. I'm still not sure exactly about the doom thing. Is that a hex? It has to be a hex. Fire, cold, physical, and chaos damage over time multipliers on Joules now have values of plus 6 to 8%, previously 3 to 4. Cool. I mean, it sounds like there should be more to that, but alright. No, yeah, that's it. There's a new global damage over time multiplier that can roll on all Joules with a value of plus 4 to 6%. All Joules now have a roll faster damage of ailment prefix modifier with a value of 4 to 6. Okay. The chance to ignite, freeze, shock, suffix modifiers on weapons now have multiple tiers, with their chances now 10, 15, 20 respectively. Staves have a 25, 20, 25, 30 chance respectively. Damage over time multipliers on influence gloves, amulets now rolls up to values up to 16 plus 16 to 20% at its highest tier, previously 13 to 16. Buff, I like it. Faster ignite, poison, and bleed modifiers on influence boots now roll up to 10 to 12, previously 8 to 10. Again, buff, cool with it. Emberwake added a bit too much damage and crowded out any other option you could use with an ignite bill. And the downside has gotten weaker over time due to us adding more sources of faster ignite damage. It no longer has ignited enemies burn 50 to 65% slower, and it now has a 40% less burning damage. This change does not affect existing items. Oh, legacy items. All right, cool. Boom. Problem. Burning Arrow is too complex for a level 1 skill. Solution. Redesign the skill without a secondary stacking burning effect, but with a high added fire damage against ignited enemies. Okay. Specifics. No longer has a stacking burning effect. Now deals 150% base damage at gem level 1 unchanged, up to 214% at gem level 20, previously 184%. Now adds plus 3 to 4 fire damage to attacks against ignited enemies at gem level 1, up to 201 to 302 fire damage at gem level 20. Now has an attack speed of 90% of base, previously 100. Now has a 25% chance to ignite, previously 50. Interesting. Oh, and we're already at the end, boys. Problem. Ignite builds don't have any way to focus their damage on bosses, forcing balance to be the same for clear speed damage and boss damage. Okay, yes, I'll agree with that because I've been using Tectonic Slam and going with my fire-based chieftain, so yeah, I can see this. Solution. Change Flame Surge and introduce a new attack-based mechanic to be able to deal much more burning damage to a targeted enemy. Cool. Specific. Flame Surge is getting a new burning ground mechanic that deals damage based on ignites on the target. We're investigating a similar mechanic for attacks. Boom. We want to stress that the above list and posts from the last 2 days aren't final. There are plenty of other balanced topics that we plan to cover in 3.16 announcement and patch notes. Thanks for reading through to the end, and please let us know what your feedback is on these changes and the new approach to communication. First off, with the communication-wise, I love this. I think this is great. You guys let me know. I mean, this was a pretty long one as well. It's very specific, but not that specific. I mean, it kind of is, but a lot of... I feel like these guys are they're getting the shaft in a way. But then again, like, if you already knew about your aura bots and you already knew, like, how to get, like, every aura, so now they're making it so, like, if you get something that's, like, 50%, you have 100%, so now it's 50%. You can have 2 auras that are 50%. That's interesting. So now the question is, you're still going to reserve, right? It's still going to reserve and all that shit. It's going to be weird. It's going to be crazy. Interesting. I mean... I'm sure people are going to figure stuff out how to do. I like the fact that damage over time is getting better. But, yeah, I definitely like the way that they're doing this whole, here's what we think, enjoy, take a look at it, and at least that way we can kind of bitch, say whatever we want. Overall, I like it, so keep it up. Triple G, I'm with it. At least it gives me, even though I don't understand what the fuck half of this shit is, because again, I haven't been playing this for like, you know, the 9-10 years everyone else has been playing it. This fresh pair of eyes is a fucking newbie, casual, not really a casual since I've been playing it. This is based on my main game, but majority of people will call me a casual because I haven't played it for 9 years. But you guys will have to tell me the rest of it in the comments below or on my stream. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys out there. And we shall see... I'll definitely see you guys on my stream. I'll be restreaming a thing. That'll be drops. Remember that? There's that new cool set of wings. 320 credits, by the way, too. But alright, guys. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys on the live stream announcement, which will be in about, what, 6 days. Alright, guys, in 6 days. There we go. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys out there. Later.
Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!